Welcome back to day 6 in the Golden Ant Castle, everyone. This morning, I started my usual routine and found about a dozen dead ants, including one that was quite large. The ant colony's population is rapidly declining. It might be due to the sugar water from yesterday, or perhaps it's a result of resource scarcity. Every time I feed them, I find ant remains scattered around the food. At this rate, it won't be long before this colony is completely wiped out. Today, I decided to continue feeding sugar water to see if I could capture footage of the ants fighting for food. I placed sugar water on the water basin and leaves, hoping to record some of the food wars that have been happening. Would I be able to film the ants fighting over food? Let's find out. Sure enough, when these ants meet while walking or bump into each other, they immediately begin fighting, much like road rage, a small disagreement, and they start battling. No wonder so many ants get hurt and die every day. It's hard to understand. Aren't ants supposed to be cooperative creatures? Why do they fight at the slightest encounter? If they keep fighting like this, I fear this colony won't last much longer. I started to look into the situation, and after going through several resources, I believe this colony may consist of ants from different nests. The sellers shipped them in separate test tubes, so their scents might be different, which could be the reason they fight when they meet. Another possible reason is resource scarcity, but I don't think that's the issue, as I've been providing them with food and sugar water every day. So it seems that the problem lies with the ants I bought. Ants use scent to identify their nest mates. This scent serves as an identity marker. Ants from the same nest don't typically harm each other because they cooperate to forage, care for larvae, and protect their home. So, it's likely that I have bought ants from different nests where their scents have been altered, causing the aggression when they meet. Without any special tools, I can only analyze their behavior based on how they interact when they encounter each other. Ants from the same nest typically don't fight when they meet, but if they have different nest scents, they will immediately attack each other. This leads me to believe that I may have received ants from different nests. I've been observing this ant colony for several days now, and it's becoming increasingly clear that the life of these small creatures is filled with challenges. Not only do they face daily struggles for food and survival, but they also encounter internal conflicts within their own colony. The social structure of ants, which is often praised for its cooperation, is not immune to the pressures of competition and resource scarcity. The behavior I've been witnessing, the frequent fights over food and the declining population, has been perplexing. Ants are known for their teamwork, yet here I am, watching them tear each other apart over what should be shared resources. This contradicts everything we know about ants being one of the most organized and collaborative creatures on the planet. However, upon closer examination, I started to understand the situation better. First, the ants I bought came from separate colonies. When ants from different colonies come into contact, they often perceive each other as threats. Their scent profiles are different, and as a result, they instinctively fight. In the wild, ants from different colonies rarely come into contact, and if they do, it's usually a fight for territory or food. Another factor I considered is the food scarcity. Although I've been providing them with sugar water and food daily, it seems that the quantity and variety of food might not be enough to keep the colony stable. I thought sugar water would be the perfect treat for them, especially because ants, like Formica rufa, the species I have, are known to love sweet food. But their disinterest in other foods like apples and ham left me wondering if the issue was a lack of proper nourishment. Ants, in general, are social insects that live in highly organized colonies. Their societies are made up of different castes: queens, workers, and soldiers. The worker ants are the ones responsible for foraging, protecting the colony, and caring for the queen and larvae. These workers play a crucial role in the colony's survival, and their behavior is closely tied to the needs of the entire group. The queen's primary role is to reproduce, ensuring the survival of the colony. Soldiers protect the nest and defend the colony from external threats. This system of division of labor ensures that every ant has a specific role that contributes to the survival and growth of the colony. However, what happens when resources are limited? When there's not enough food to go around, competition intensifies, and even ants from the same colony might start fighting. It's natural for stronger ants to get more food, while weaker ones get left behind. This can lead to a breakdown in cooperation, and over time, it may destabilize the colony. This is exactly what I think might be happening with my ants. Although I've been providing food, the quality and amount of food they receive might not be enough to maintain peace within the colony. The fact that they are fighting over food indicates that the supply is either insufficient or not optimal for their needs. I started to realize that the ants' behavior was more complex than I initially thought. They are not simply mindless workers running around in search of food. Instead, they are highly specialized creatures, each with its own set of instincts and behaviors that help them survive in their environment. For instance, the aggression I've observed may not just be about food scarcity. It could be a natural response to unfamiliar ants from different colonies. Ants can become territorial when they feel their resources or space are being threatened. This territorial behavior is vital for their survival in the wild, as it ensures that only the strongest colonies thrive. Moreover, the ants' social structure is influenced by many factors, including their environment, the availability of food, and the presence of other colonies. In a stable environment with plenty of resources, ants from the same colony usually work together harmoniously. But when food is scarce or when they are introduced to ants with different scents, aggression can arise. In conclusion, caring for this ant colony has been both an eye-opening and challenging experience. The more I learn about ants and their behavior, the more I realize how intricate and complex their world is. They may be small, but their social structures, survival strategies, and the way they interact with each other are far more sophisticated than most people realize. As I continue to observe and care for this colony, I'll need to adapt my approach. Perhaps I need to adjust the food I provide, or maybe I need to separate the ants from different nests to reduce conflict. One thing is certain, understanding the needs of these ants and providing a suitable environment is crucial for their survival. This journey has taught me a lot about patience, observation, and the natural world. In the end, taking care of these ants is more than just about feeding them, it's about learning how to create an environment where they can thrive and function as a cohesive, healthy colony.